Floyd Mayweather taking on the Irish superstar Conor McGregor. Here's the tale of the tape. McGregor with the height and reach advantage. Southpaw versus orthodox matchup. Mayweather has the perfect record, tons of experience. So just how would a fight between these two, Mayweather and McGregor, play out?
I love the fact that McGregor's he stepped into he stepped out of the MMA world into something completely different. Whether it turns out to be, good or bad for him in terms of wins and losses, I'm not so sure that it will matter in the long run. But I'm sure he'll have some fun and make good money. So, all the best to him.
I think McGregor's a good businessman. He's, he knows to talk and get some money, But for the fight, I really don't think he stands a chance. He's fighting one of the best lightweights, or one of the best, boxers that's ever, have boxed or whatever. And Mayweather's got awesome defense, and I literally don't think that McGregor stands a chance. And I think it's funny that people think that he does. So my money and everything I own is definitely on Mayweather. But at the same time, good for McGregor, man. He's going to make millions and millions of dollars. So that's what it is for sure.
Hats off to Conor. He sold it and promoted himself well enough to get the biggest payday anybody in MMA has probably ever had. So good for him, but I don't see it being too much different than when James Toney came into MMA. It's a different sport. As good as Conor is at what he does, and as hard as he's going to work to try and be ready, he's not a boxer, and it's a different game. So it shouldn't be competitive, but the lead up will be a lot of fun, and it's going to be entertaining either way.
I think it's cool. Good for Conor. He was on welfare checks 5 years ago. Now he's going to be one of the richest athletes in the world. So good for him.
I think it's going to be good for him. It's good for him. It's good for everybody to watch this fight. It's going to be an interesting fight because Floyd Mayweather, he's a boxing guy. He never lose a fight. But Conor McGregor, he has a chance, especially in the first or maximum 2 or 3 rounds. He has a chance. I don't see like anybody said no, he doesn't have a chance. No, he has a chance, especially if he changed the game. No exchange box with Floyd Mayweather. Do his stance. He has a little karate stance. So that's make more. That's probably make Floyd Mayweather more confused during the fight. So I think that's the point. McGregor has more chance. But if he's gonna exchange only the boxing, I think that the Floyd Mayweather is gonna be. He's gonna win the fight. But if McGregor, if he gonna use his stance like his stance he's using in the MMA, he has a chance.
Well, I think it's great for him. I mean, it's a great paycheck, right? Yeah. I mean, but I gotta say, Money May all day. Yeah. Boxing is a different thing than boxing in MMA. Boxing in a boxing ring with the rules. Yeah. And to think that someone who's never done it before is going to beat someone who's never been beaten. Yeah.
It's a tall task. Have you watched McGregor fight before, or is it? Have you not?
Incredible. If you put Mayweather in a cage in 20 seconds, he'd be dead. Yeah. He'd be dead. But you're going to Mayweather's house. You're going to the MGM Grand to box.
What's going to happen? Mayweather's going to put McGregor out, and he has an advantage because it's a boxing match. Are you guys excited to see this?
I'm very excited to see this. This is some cross-pollination. We got a mixed martial artist showing some courage, stepping in the ring with a professional boxer, the best ever to do it in our time. I'm excited for it. I think this is great for mixed martial arts, great for boxing.
It's good for MMA then.
Yeah.
You think, even though it could be an MMA superstar losing to a boxing superstar.
Sure, he's going into his other element. Now he can challenge him, step back into our octagon. I think this is great entertainment, and I think it's a lot of courage for a lot of MMA fighters actually want to transition and do that. Nate Diaz talked about it. Anderson Silva's talked about it. So this is things I've been talking. I'm excited to see that this is actually happening.
Chael, but everyone says it's going to be advantage boxing. Why could an MMA fighter change the script here? Or do you even think that's possible?
Max, he had better not be able to. Listen, if Conor McGregor can make it one full round, it discredits boxing. I come from an amateur wrestling background. Our best wrestler is named David Taylor. You bring in any athlete you want, the best athlete in his field. David Taylor will dust him up in 30 seconds, and I say that to make sure I'm right. It'll be a lot closer to 10. You're telling me that a man who's never done professional boxing can go with a guy who's never lost to professional boxing? I think the bigger story here is that America disrespects the sweet science, and frankly, that surprised me. It really surprised me that this is $1 billion in business. That surprises me.
I would wonder if boxing could meet MMA halfway, maybe smaller gloves, I don't know. Just throwing it out
I
there.
say let's do it Floyd's way. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Not everything has to be competitive. Let's have some fun in sport for a change.
We need a little bit more fun around here. Chael Sonnen and Gilbert Melendez joining us for bringing a little more fun.
Mayweather was coming back for a fight, but Conor McGregor, I heard the name, but I've never seen him box. I just know he's 0-0 in boxing, so.
He is MMA, he do MMA, he's world champ, and then he's a big name in MMA, and then they match this fight. Like he don't have, I think, more boxing fight.
So, what's your prediction for the fight? What do you think?
Man, I think Mayweather gonna win for sure. I think it's really, it don't have a chance for McGregor win. I think he never fight box before, and know all the people from fights. And the Mayweather, man, he's been amazing inside the ring. I think no chance. I don't know if McGregor gonna touch him. You know, I think like be like dance. If you be nice, I think maybe we're gonna be 2 rounds because we're gonna play with him. But if you try go to do something else, for sure you kill him. I think like this. What do you think?
She don't know shit.
I don't know Conor McGregor, but I know Mayweather, so I guess I'm going for Mayweather.
Danny Cormier, boxing, MMA, Conor McGregor and Floyd. Give me your take.
I mean, it's pretty easy. MMA, Conor McGregor smashes him, kills him. If they fight an MMA fight, Floyd wouldn't last 2 minutes. Boxing, Floyd kills him. Conor McGregor can't box Floyd Mayweather. Guys, let's be real with ourselves. Neither one of these guys could do the other guy's sport. But Floyd Mayweather's in a position financially where he will make the rules. Conor's going to have to go to him. So, Conor's going to get beat.
Yes, man. In my opinion, in the fight, Mayweather play with him. He win for sure, Mayweather. You know, but Conor McGregor very smart guy. And, you know, I think nobody in the fighters don't like him because he talk too much. You know, have a respect for each fighter. This is not good. He have a respected fighters. Everybody love him, but he talk too much. You know, he win the different part. He got a lot of millions, yeah. He's a smart guy, for sure. He got this fight, he promoted this fight. But in the fight, I think Mayweather play with him.
Is there any way for Conor to win this?
It's happened. Sometimes happen one punch, maybe, man. It's happened, but I don't see that. You know, I don't see that. But he's smart. He's very smart.
Yeah, I definitely see a path to victory. In the Maidana fight, when Mayweather fought him, I mean, when he came out swarming him, I mean, Mayweather got overwhelmed.
Man, not even like, I don't think like even a luck shot, man. We're talking about a guy 49-0 fighting against best guys in the world. And on the other side, we see a guy that not even have a amateur boxing match. You know, I've been like to wild card doing boxing sparring. Man, it's different level, man. I've been sparring with the guy 6-0. It's a different level of, you know, it's a different sport, man. People don't realize how good these guys are, especially talking about the best pound for pound, man. Floyd Mayweather, 49-0. Not even Manny Pacquiao was able to hit him. I don't think Conor McGregor will be able to do anything.
McGregor, of course, will be underdog in this fight, but as he represents MMA, I will support him.
I'm a boxing fan, but not a boxing fighter. I'm an MMA fighter. It's a boxing fight, so you know, I'm not here to promote boxing. Obviously, it's a money fight. It's a big fight for both guys. It's good for them, but that's about it.
You know, I hear a lot of like boxing analysts, you know, talk a lot of shit saying. I think I heard Max Kellerman say literally there's 0% chance of him winning. You know, and he was really adamant about it. I thought that was pretty crazy. His chances aren't great. They're not, you know, but I think he has a better chance than a lot of the boxing analysts think. I mean, he has some things on his side.
I think he could probably one-punch him. I don't know. He's got that ability to always be counted out in every fight, and then he always one-punches someone and puts him on sea legs and finds a way to win. So I'm 100% behind Conor McGregor, and I think he's going to win.
Boxing rules, I think Мэйуэзер. I might sound stupid, but yeah. So first of all, McGregor doesn't give a about my comments, and he doesn't need my advice. So it's like I said, it's going to be a great payday for him. Don't you think?
There's always a possibility when you've got punching power like Conor. I mean, his left hand, it does have power in it. We don't know how it lands when he's got boxing gloves on. That could change it slightly. But the other thing you have to bear in mind is that obviously Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't think offensively. He thinks constantly defense. So and McGregor's the opposite. McGregor's always about offense. So there are going to be traps that he's going to have to avoid, and that's the test for him, because Mayweather's the best in the world at setting people up and making them fall into those traps. So not overextending, not being too overzealous with his technique, and cutting the ring down. It's so much easier to trap somebody in a boxing ring than it is an octagon. You know, the corners are narrower. It's much easier to kind of paint them into a corner effectively. And that's what he needs to do. He also needs to use a lot of feints, because he needs to draw those attacks out of Mayweather before he falls for them. So there are a lot of things that McGregor can do to cause him problems, but the most difficult thing is landing a punch without paying for it.
Mayweather's older now. He's 40 years old. McGregor's 27. He's in the prime of his career. They say timing's everything in life. This might be the right time for McGregor.
My take on a boxing match between the two, I think McGregor, I think he's good, and he's got a good chance to make something happen in 2 or 3 rounds. But I think
so.
I think if anything, 2 or 3 rounds. But I think he's got an amateur style where he's only got the good movement, good punches for 6-8 minutes, and I think that's too amateur for Mayweather. I'm just saying he's got a puncher's chance, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. A lucky punch.
If anything. But as far as skill and technique, like he's got an amateur style, and like anybody could be good for 9, 6, 7 minutes. Anybody, and they all have that puncher's chance. But this guy's ready to go round after round, and he's gonna be a hard person to get a hold of. So I think it's gonna be a rough one.
Absolutely.
But who knows?
Who knows? That's the thing about combat sports. Gil, MMA rules in an octagon. Does Floyd stand a chance at all?
Yeah, the same thing. You know, Floyd has a great, puncher's chance. You know, I mean, he has a beautiful straight right. He has a great boxing, of course. If he can hit him with the little gloves, it could be lights out, But it's just different in the cage, James Toney fought Randy Couture once. He stepped into the octagon in there. It didn't go too well. Randy Couture did something slick. He got real low and just did an ankle pick and took him down. He had nothing to do, had nothing to answer for on that point, So if I'm Conor, I don't have my ego doesn't step in. I try to lay kick, and I try to be very conservative, almost avoid all striking and try to take you down. And but in the process, if he catches a straight or hard counter punch from Floyd in those little gloves, it can be lights out, of course.
Problem.
The smart money certainly favors Mayweather. After all, it's no accident that he's undefeated after 49 trips to the ring. But the spectacle alone will certainly be worth the price of admission, whether or not the actual competition lives up to the hype. After all, as the Irish will happily tell you, there is only one Conor McGregor.
And losses, I'm not so sure that it will matter in the long run, but I'm sure he'll have some fun and make good money. So all the best to him.
I think McGregor's a good businessman. He's he knows to talk and get some money.
Floyd Mayweather taking on the Irish superstar Conor McGregor. Here's the tale of the tape. McGregor with the height and reach advantage. Southpaw versus orthodox matchup. Mayweather has the perfect record, tons of experience. So just how would a fight between these two, Mayweather and McGregor, play out?
I love the fact that McGregor's he stepped into he stepped out of the MMA world into something completely different. Whether it turns out to be good or bad for him in terms of win.
But for the fight, I really don't think he stands a chance. He's fighting one of the best lightweights, or one of the best boxers that's ever have boxed or whatever, and Mayweather's got awesome defense, and I literally don't think that McGregor stands a chance, and I think it's funny that people think that he does. So my money and everything I own is definitely on Mayweather, but at the same time, good for McGregor, man. He's going to make millions and millions of dollars. That's what it is for sure.
Hats off to Conor. He sold it and promoted himself well enough to get the biggest